Let's go over a few tips on presenting your research or your project orally. I think this is a neat little graphic. So here we have the attention on the vertical and the time on the horizontal. So as you can see, when we first start off with the presentation, the attention span is high. So we've got a lot of attention of everybody in the room. And then as time goes on, it dips, and then it kind of bumps back up at the conclusion. And what we want to do is we want to create those variations in the middle, so to hook them back into the presentation or bring them back into the fold, if you will. And I like to think about this like in a TED Talk kind of manner, right? As we know people's attention spans are short, so we want to take advantage of that, and we want to hook them with the introduction and have a solid conclusion. But in the middle, we want to make sure they have variances so that we can re-engage them in the material. Your audience will always ask questions if you have the right topic or if you're presenting on the relevant topic. So what you want to try to do is anticipate what they're going to ask, or the type of topics or things that they'll want to discuss that may be adjacent to your topic. Design your presentation to answer the common questions that you think will arise. So again, get to your main point quickly and then build around that with these questions you know people are going to ask. And be ready for anything. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. Some of the questions may not be relevant, or you may not even be prepared to answer. So don't be afraid to say, I don't know, or I need to get back to you on that. Saying I don't know means more than trying to come up with something or stumbling. You're there for a very specific reason to present a very specific topic or very specific information. If you don't have information that they are looking for, it's okay to say, that wasn't the topic of this discussion, but I'd happy to get more information on that and reconnect with you. Or, that wasn't what we looked at, so I'm not sure. Things of that nature. So when you're doing a presentation, there's a general format that most people go through, and we have it here. So I have a title, an introduction or a background, methodology, results, conclusions, questions. Within conclusions, you may have recommendations. So something I'd like to be a little bit cautious on is making the title something that's outlandish or anything like that. So you want a good title. So a good title lets the audience know exactly what they're going to get into as far as joining the presentation. So you want to, have it subject specific, and you want to have it draw attention to the title, but you don't want to be obnoxious with it or anything like that. Be straight to the point and make it a curious title so that people are curious and engaged with it. So in general, what makes a good presentation? I've got a few tips here. Use text and pictures to convey your message. Now, you don't want to write out what you're saying on your presentation slide or on your PowerPoint slide or anything like that, but have a few keywords or a picture or graphic that really represents what you want to say. In general, avoid animation effects and trickery. This is not you trying to present your very best desktop animation skills. This is you presenting data or a project. Again, you want it to look nice and professional. You don't want it to look clunky or gimmicky. Always choose your background wisely. So they're going to say you need dark text on a light background or light text on a dark background. In general, just make sure your contrast is very, very important. Make sure it's very, very good. In general, it's easier for people to look at a dark background with white text versus white background with dark text. Your just eyes can absorb and look at it a little bit longer. So try to stay on 24-point font or above, and you'll want to make sure that your slides are the right size for the projector and all that. But 24-point font and above will really help you out as far as people seeing it across the room. If you need to break up stuff over 2 slides, that's fine, but don't overload a slide. Break them up so that people don't have to sit there and squint and try to read something just so you can get on one slide. So as you present, people are going to watch you, and it's okay to be nervous. It's 100% normal. It's going to happen. Most people will never know that you're nervous as long as you continue on and do a few things. You know, you've always heard like the fake it until you make it aspect, but here's a few specific tips. Be engaging and energetic. So connect with the audience in some way and have your energy up rather than down. Make eye contact. So as you're going through your presentation, make sure you look specifically at people in the audience. Now, if you're a person that doesn't really like to make specific eye contact, look at something like a nose or a forehead in the audience members. So people will think you're engaging in direct eye contact, but you may not specifically doing so. And over time, you'll get better at it. Speak in a loud, clear voice. What you want to do is you want to be loud enough that the people in the back can hear you, and clear enough that nobody thinks you're mumbling or anything like that. Do not yell, but do be loud and clear enough that everybody can hear you. And think about your cadence and your speed as well. So you don't want to be too fast or too slow in how you handle your words. And think about the rhythm of what you're saying. This is where practice makes perfect as well. Do not read off your PowerPoint. If you are going through a presentation where you're presenting information from a research study or a project, you should know your project. This is where it's very important to practice again. Practice. If you have to read off a piece of paper, that's better than reading off the PowerPoint. But still, if you practice enough, you'll be able to go through your PowerPoint or your slides or whatever it may be without looking at the PowerPoint or without looking at a piece of paper, and you'll be on good. You'll just be good. You'll be good to go.